how to become a personal trainer. I'm Dan, that's Rob. We are personal trainers. In today's video, you're going to learn a lot more about how to land that job as a personal trainer. Rob, that's him.
Yes.
Take it away.
Yes.
Let them know. Inspire these minds.
I don't just play one on TV. I am a personal trainer. Now, you kind of have to cut through the mystique of what a personal trainer is. The funny thing is, Dan and myself, we used to work at a gym. We used to walk around with a shirt on, and it said personal trainer on the back. You would have thought that we were brain surgeons. Rock stars, if you will, because people, there's a certain thing, there's a certain pedigree about being a personal trainer. In this day and age, and they've actually done research on it, today's trainer can be your personal shaman, your psychologist, your best friend, your confidant, if you will. So the role of a personal trainer has actually come to the forefront. It's become much more important. And why don't we just break it down right here? Let's talk about the purpose of a personal trainer. Why would you get a personal trainer? Okay, for a number of reasons. Okay, first of all, motivation. Motivation's a big thing. I can't get to the gym. I can't do this. I can't do that. A lot of people are intimidated. They go to the gym, they don't know what to do, and immediately out of the gates, they're in the wrong mind space. So they end up leaving the gym dissatisfied, disheartened, and they typically waste their membership. A personal trainer keeps you motivated. You have to show up. You have to show up for your assigned time. You have somebody who's depending upon you. It's your time. It's their time as well. So that's one thing. Second thing, number two, proper use of equipment, proper form and function of exercises. So that's kind of a twofold thing. When you typically start with a trainer in a gym environment, big box gym, small gym, what have you, they are going to show you the basics, show you how to do things, okay? Take you down to the basic primal level. This is a squat. This is a push-up. This is what you do. Very, very important. This is probably the key component of any workout, is that you have to do things correctly. If you don't do things correctly, you're either going to injure yourself or you're just not going to maximize the effectiveness of the exercise. So the second thing, they're going to show you how to do things correctly. Third and final thing, programming. When I mean programming, the exercises themselves, the transition of the exercises, the format of the exercises, the progression of the exercises, if you will. They're going to show you how to do an exercise and then do an offshoot of that exercise, or show variations of that exercise. Because if you do the same thing over and over and over, it's going to be great, but at some point in time, your body is going to plateau. And you're going to get bored, and you're not going to do it anymore. So hence, the motivation goes out the window, and the commitment to working with the personal trainer goes out the window.
Out that window.
Out that window. Okay, so those are the three basic things. Employment characteristics is number two.
Overall, number two, yes, second bullet point.
Okay. I don't know if you want to interject or add anything at this point.
Well said. Keep it going.
Okay. I'm on a roll here. Employment characteristics. Okay, so three things, actually.
He's got three. Listen.
We're working in threes here. You can decide to work at a gym. You can work at a big box gym. You can work at a gym that, is more corporate in nature. You can also work for yourself. Okay, you can be going to people's houses. You can also incorporate group training, or what they call group personal training. We'll talk about that topic later on down the road. The difference between the three of them is one is corporate, one is structured. There's pretty much a quota involved. Think Glengarry Glen Ross. Always be closing. Okay, as much as you love to personal train, it's kind of like the person who becomes a real estate agent and says, oh boy, I love houses and I love being in houses and I want to do an open house. Guess what? Invariably, your Whoever you work for is going to say, what have you done this month? What have you closed? That is the sobering reality. You've got to put asses in the seats. They want you to bring in a certain number of people in the seats, and they want you to perform. Okay, so it goes beyond just, I love this, this is my passion. It's a business. If you're not as dedicated or motivated, dare I say, or you want to seek more independence, then you do it on your own. Then you go to people's houses. But in some ways, that's more challenging because you are responsible for building your client base. Unlike the gym, where they will provide you with leads, doing it on your own, it's a whole different ball of wax. It's your game. You have to go out, you have to market, you have to promote. Everything is out of pocket for that. The third thing is group training.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, and I'll let you.
I'll talk at some point.
He won't shut up. The third thing is group training, where you can basically do that in a park or in a common area. These seem to be gaining a lot more traction in this day and age because not only are you getting the motivation one-on-one, but you're also getting motivation from your peers. So they call them collectively boot camps or group personal training types of classes. And those are actually probably more effective from a training standpoint because you're getting more asses in the seat, if you will, as opposed to one-on-one. You're technically being more efficient. You can do a 1-hour session, get 10 people in your class, and basically reap more benefits and revenue than doing a one-on-one for an hour. So those are the 3 employment characteristics. Dan, you want to interject?
To add on, if you are going to train people in their homes, one thing to consider is traffic and where you live. We used to be able to train people's homes a lot, and right now, because there is so much traffic, it actually makes it very unable to do it because, say you have a client that finished at 3, your next client's at 3:30, they're 20 minutes away, but there's traffic, then you get there at 3:40, you're late, they're pissed, and long term you can lose clients that way. So if you are going to train clients in their homes, strategically structure that. So it is possible, spread them out more. Don't try to cram too many people into one day. Even though you'll make more money, you'll be more stressed in the process. The other option too is if you're new and you just got your certification, we're going to talk about where to get them in a second, but if you did get your certification and you want somewhere to start, a lot of times these bigger gyms that are out there are a lot tougher to get jobs, so they want experience. So look into nonprofits like a YMCA or something like that, a local gym, nonprofit, start off small, build up your skills, build up your abilities, make connections, and learn more about what you're doing. Because you actually learn 95% of it on the fly, on the job, not from all the stuff you studied. Yes.
Perfect.
There you go. Boom.
And that's a perfect segue into accreditation. Dan just talked about book learning, studying. There are several or multiple certifications that you can get, organizations, if you will. The 3 biggies that are out there are NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, ACE,
American Council of Exercise.
Yeah, and then there's the ACSM.
We'll put what that means right here.
American College of Sports Medicine.
Yes.
Those are the 3 biggies. Those, if you have one of those accreditations, you're guaranteed to at least get your foot in the door with an organization. What usually entails in that is, and I took NASM. I was NASM. They call that the gold standard. Back in the day when I had to do it, they did it with a book. They sent you a book. You had to study the book. Then you had to go to an off-site location and take an exam. It was usually multiple choice. It was like 100 questions.
Same phrase.
And you had to get, 70-80% pass rate or something like that. Once you get that under your belt, you're pretty much good to go, because you have to recert every 2 years, but typically, they'll give you different things that you can recertify. I just had to do my recertification. I had to do it on the fly, so they gave me multiple things to do. It was like a mishmash of, here's some articles to read. I also got my golf certification, which meant that I'm not a professional golfer. It means that I can train people who are golfers, that certain paradigm. Dan, I believe you are ACE certified?
Yes.
And it's probably the same it's the same routine.
Mhm.
You have to go through same protocol.
Exactly.
And every 2 years. So we have a multitude of certifications. I have a corrective exercise certification, nutrition, performance for athletes. I just picked up the aforementioned golf certification. The other thing that's key to this too with the accreditations, and this is the thing that's kind of overlooked, is that you also pick up your you get your CPR AED certification as well, which is actually probably the most important thing because it's a life-saving certification. So if somebody were to go into cardiac arrest, you could administer CPR to them, work the AED, and possibly save a life. We've actually seen it in our gym. We saw a guy that was certified save somebody's life, and then he in turn had his life saved. They both had, it was crazy.
Came full circle.
Came full circle. So it does come in handy. I would recommend that anybody get their APR CED certification. And if you do get certified as a personal trainer, it is mandatory. You have to take it. And the first time around, much like when you get your certification, it's more long and drawn out. It's a couple of hours. But when you do the recert, it's about 45 minutes online, and then you go to an on-site location just to burnish up your skills. And that's about it. Anything to add, Dan?
That's all.
That's it?
Now you know.
Now you know. It's really not that difficult. If you're passionate about personal training, if you want to help people, if you're just into fitness, give it a shot. We did. And look where we are now. We're talking to you.
Until next time.
Oh, God. And I go outside, I go to the bathroom. It was on the floor of my dorm. The guy picks his head out. He goes, "Hey, what'd you get, sub?"
That's the story. That's the story. That's the story. Fuck this.